Hey everyone, and welcome back to Career Mode on BeamNG.drive. In the last episode, I did some upgrades to the car. I'm working on it literally from the wheels up, so I started with tires, did the brakes, put rally suspension under it, and then tuned everything. I also added a wing. I figured this episode I'll start with a couple more upgrades. Also, last episode we did a little bit of rock crawling, like intro to crawling, and then some drifting. Can't remember exactly what else, but like I said, figured for this one I will start with a couple more upgrades, whatever I can do, because I would really like to at least get the limited slip differential put in, and exhaust if I can. So, I'm going to quickly remove the storage boxes, cargo box, move, cargo box, move, to any other cargo boxes. There should be 3. Trunk, the back seat, and then the passenger seat. There we go, there's the ones. Those ones I think are in the trunk. I should also sell the old parts for some extra money. But you never know if you'll need them. That's another thing, especially in real life, if you're upgrading your car, unless you're replacing a part that broke, if you're just putting newer, better suspension on it, and there's nothing wrong with the old stuff, maybe keep the old stuff. Because you never know if you'll need to reinstall something. Like if, for example, a tie rod breaks and nothing else is wrong, just slap on the old tie rod for the time being. I need the rear differentials, so down here, rear final drive, drive shaft, differential. How much is flip, open, rear? Race limited is 4 grand. Currently have 5,700, so I am going to install that, but I'm not going to do the exhaust yet. So let's do that. And I am definitely going to sell some of the old stuff that isn't needed. So anything that's not currently on it, I can likely just sell, including the old wheels, rear seats, sell because I don't need them, the old front sway bar, the old normal steering. I believe I put rally steering in it, or drift steering, sorry. I'm going to be careful. Standard 195s, I can sell those. Standard tires. Some things we can't sell because they're mandatory, like you can't really drive without them. Pads again, because it has race pads. I want to keep the cargo boxes because I like doing deliveries off camera. Sell the original brakes. That's another thing. If you upgrade the brakes on your car, like a big brake kit or something, you should keep the old rotors and calipers and all the mounting hardware. So that, again, if you need to replace a rotor or something, you've got the parts for it for the time being until you can get brand new stuff. Do I have enough for the exhaust? I do. Race exhaust. Because why not? In and sell the old exhaust. Right here, exhaust, sell. Go. Down to $155. But that's what happens when you have a car. It becomes a money pit. So, now have a limited slip rear differential and race exhaust. And that's it. I still have to do like the drive shaft if we can, and then the gearbox, engine stuff. I am going to quickly, before I forget, adjust differential. Forgot to bring up the pictures. Thankfully, I don't have too many on my phone. Okay, differential. 30, 15, 100. 30 and 100. Go. And then I only change exhaust, otherwise can't tune that. So, car is going to be much better, much sportier, especially with the locked rear differential. Before it wouldn't really slide or do donuts, but now, even with the stock engine and gearbox, it is quite happy to see. So, let's get to the next mission, which is thankfully an AI race over here called Go Home. We're going to set the route to that. And then I'll show right here really quick. Here's the... Ooh, maybe I didn't do drift basics yet. I remember doing Gymkhana boot camp, but I don't remember doing the drift basics. So I will do this race first, and then I'll go back to doing the drift basics. So let's get down there. I'm not going to worry about recording the trip there because I'll likely just cut it out of the video. But I really like how they've done this so far. A proper open world racing game where you can properly upgrade and tune your car and stuff. All they're really missing is like audio stuff, like in Underground 2, how you could do up your trunk with speakers and screens and stuff. That was so cool. Underground 2 was really ahead of its time, and in my opinion, there's still not really many games better. Like, I still, to this day, go back and play it all the time. Currently, off camera, playing through the 2015, 2016 Need for Speed, and it's alright. They still have a decent amount of car modification. You can upgrade your audio system in it, but it's not a visual thing. As far as I can tell, it doesn't actually change anything with the car, and I can't tell if it actually even does anything at all. But it's an option for some reason. Try not to hit the slicker on. Yeah, anyone watching this, if you've played Underground 2, you share the same feelings that I do. That it's still pretty much one of the best racing games. And even without modding it for the graphics, it's still aged pretty well too. The handling is really good in it, it's great. So yeah, I have to use a Legrand because, of course, that's one thing I don't like about career mode at the moment, is a lot of them you still have to use a provided vehicle where you should be using your car. Either way, achieve third, second, or first, win in under 1:50, and complete with traffic enabled. See, that's kind of dumb because enabling traffic disables the other stars. So this is one of the ones I'll have to redo with my car. But either way, not super worried about stars at the moment. Okay, go home. Race along the freeway to the suburbs and get to the house before the others do. Flip your car upright as often as you want. Once you reach the checkpoint, you can cover your car back to it. This is like everyone just went out for dinner or something and now they're racing back to the hangout. I miss doing car stuff in real life. Once I get a real car again, I'll be doing videos and stuff on that. Going to car meets and stuff again. Not just all this video game. But that's another thing. This channel wasn't meant to be like a Let's Play channel or anything specific. I made it because I felt like it and liked uploading little things here and there. This is actually my second channel. My old original channel uses my real name, which is not a really good thing to do, but anyway. But yeah, my first video on this actually was uploaded from my old PS3 on Need for Speed Shift 2, and it's a super drift clip, of all things. And now I'm doing pretty much the same thing all these years later on a different game. I should go back and play Shift. Those were good racing games. I think Need for Speed should have stayed on the streets, but the track racing games they did do are really good. And the way they did things in Shift was pretty cool. Like, you could take your car from a stock car and slowly convert it into a full-blown race car. A lot like this, but it's a little different. The race car stage was kind of like a preset parts thing, to a degree, but it was still really cool. Alrighty. Got everything except for traffic, because I wanted to get everything first. Let's move on to the drifty mission. Map. Go down to Drift Basics. And it's going to take me the long way. So, I am going to take what I know to be a much shorter route. And now that I've got a LSD in the back of this thing, turn around a lot easier, have more fun. As I've mentioned before, with the configuration I'm basing this car off of, if you drive it in a way that allows it to be smooth and have lots of grip and handle well, like coming around here, it grips and it's smooth and it handles really well. But if you start to be a bit more aggressive, it will handle it very well. It can handle a little bit of rally, it can handle drifting. It's a very well all-round car. Very well balanced, what I meant to say. This way. Oop, super sticky texture. Here you can see now it's kind of drifting a bit. It doesn't quite have the power for drifting yet, and the gearing isn't really right for it, but we'll get there. Ready, we are here. Some kind of boot camp? No, I want drift basics. Circuit drift, that's another one that I haven't done yet. Alright, own or provided vehicle. I hate how it says own or provided, like there's an option, but really there's no option. So, stick with the FCV and get into it. Okay, drift basics. I already know all this, but for the sake of the video, in order to initiate a drift while steering left or right, either pull the handbrake for a split second or with a rear-wheel drive, accelerate. Once the slide is initiated, smoothly use the steering and the gas pedal in order to control the car's angle. Your goal is to earn as many points as possible. To get points, drift with big angle, drift close to the walls, alternate right and left drifts to increase combo, and of course, don't crash. Points earned during a drift will be applied once you have completed this slide without collision. You must finish the course in order to qualify. There are some specific rules for this run. There's a dedicated donut area, which was that green circle right there on the right. Donut area where you can earn bonus points. There's a tight drift area where you'll be rewarded with bonus points for drifting through a tight spot. Good luck. I am also currently doing this with, I believe, the oversteer assistant turned off. As I've mentioned before, I'm on a controller, so I could have done better than that, but oh well. Yeah, since I'm using a controller at the moment, when I go do drifting specifically, I typically turn on the oversteer assistant, because in real life, a car, to a degree, will counter-steer automatically, but with a controller, it doesn't. So it's nice to be able to have it counter-steer a little bit on its own. It's easier to catch the drifts and keep them going longer. Alright, so next is pipeline drive, but circuit drift is here, so I'm going to do this one first, and then I'll do pipeline drive after. I don't know why I set a route to something that inside me. I have a feeling this is just drifting around the entire track. Before hitting the open road, you need to hit the track. Drifting in an open area is easy, but now it's going to be about having a defined route and following it without crashing or spinning. Find the rear of the default vehicle. Yeah, it's going to be long. So I am, like I said, going to enable thingy. I believe it's oversteer assist that I use. Oversteer assist, usually the default settings are good enough. Maybe the default settings, I'm not sure. But like I said, it just makes it kind of counter steer for you, like it should. Okay, circuit drift. Oh, this is interesting. It's kind of cool. Typical stuff as before, so let's get into it. It's a bad looking car. Well, I love the bug, it's just this variant. I'm surprised they didn't use the normal variant, normal vanilla one. Of course, would rather use one of my drift, but going pretty well. If you look at the apps for input, especially the steering app, you'll notice that there's a little white line on it. That is the game's input to the steering, and then the orange line on. That's kind of like a good way to see what's going on with the steering, and then of course the ones with the axis for pedals. Could have definitely gone better. Yeah, I'm definitely going to retry this one. Actually focus this time instead of talking the entire time. This is where I typically tune my drift cars, but I'm not used to it having walls around it. Wall tab. One slide for me. Still could have done better. I'll go with 1 star for now, that's fine. But yeah, like I said, this is where I always do the drift tuning for my cars. It's just, it feels a little weird doing it with walls around it. And this does not have enough power yet to drift. Here we go. See what I mean? It can handle well, it can drift, do whatever. Next mission, though. I love drifting, it's so much fun. Especially in real life. Alright, next is pipeline drive. Looks like, yep. Race through the logistics center and along the pipeline. Should be interesting. Get there as fast as I can. I should have checked where it is so I can plan a fast route. Alright, it might be a bit faster to jump on the highway, actually. Alrighty, almost there. Those of you that watch these videos and actually, watch the whole thing, when I'm driving from place to place, should I just cut it out of the video? Should I keep it in? Should I do the normal replay thing that I like to do? How should I do that? Pipeline drive. Okay, so pipeline drive. You've been matched with some intimidating opponents for this challenge. Don't worry, if you drive direct decently enough, you should be able to pass them, line the corners. Flip your car upright as often as you want, typical stuff. Looks like we are in a roamer for this one. Which, again, like the D-Series, it's basically the same platform as the D-Series, just in a SUV instead of pickup body. But with being that, it can be made such a beast like the normal D-Series can. It makes a very good daily driver, it makes a great off-road vehicle. Even for racing, it's really good. Already in first. Watch that D-Series rear-end me. This is probably the Road Sport variant. Should have went a little slower around that corner. This variant is definitely understeery. It's either all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. On here. Feels like it also has an open differential. So this could just be a more base variant as well. Understeering so bad. The base variants, like the vanilla normal, like low-end configurations for the D-Series and the Roamer, don't handle all that great. They're decent for what they are, but they have the obvious big heavy vehicle issues. But if you upgrade and tune them right, they're amazing. Like my track D-Series. It's a monster. Here we go, first place. Collide with racers no less than 5 times. Really. They encourage you to crash. I like trying not to crash, thank you very much. Oh, this car looks so funny. I can't wait to get the over fenders and stuff on it, which, back up to 7,000, it shouldn't take very long to do. Maybe I'll even do a little bit of bodywork off at the end of this video. Alright, so that was Pipeline Drift. Already did Circuit. We've done Belasco Core, Fog Hill, and Palisade Point. The ones that have 2 attempts on them are from when I crashed the car before, doing deliveries and had to make up some money really quick. I explained that in a previous video if you haven't seen it. Next is Street Rivals. Get over to it, just down the street. So yeah, like I mentioned before that mission, Should I just cut out the, like, in-transit stuff, or whatever you want to call it, in-between stuff? Should I... Gosh. Should I record it with the replay and do it like I do for the missions? So on? What would make it a bit more interesting? Be better once I have the car upgraded and I can have a bit more fun driving to my... But either way, feel the pressure in this thrilling street race through downtown. We have to use a Corvette, no traffic, 2 laps, 3 other cars. Achieve third, second, or first. Win the race with your vehicle of choice. Beat the race with traffic in it. So these two are only really available when these aren't. I'll go through everything again and do stuff with my car. Alrighty. Street rivals take a thrilling tour of downtown while speeding with street racers. Keep an eye out for some of the tricky sections of this course. Typical hippie stuff. Nice little decent Corvette. This is not like a very base version. Corvette's an awesome little car. If it weren't for the deliveries, I would have gone with the Corvette instead of the 200BX as my starter car. But with deliveries and drift missions, I figured it would be best to go with the 200BX because it has a little bit more space to carry things. It apparently gets in my way, and it's rear-wheel drive, so drifting stuff. Can't really drift a front-wheel drive car. You can power slide them, but you can't drift them. And no, putting a thinner tray or cutting board or something under your wheels doesn't count as drifting. It's a power slide, right at a time. But this little thing can be such a monster. You can build this thing so it'll do burnouts all the way into like last gear. Want to pass the sunburst. When I first loaded into career mode, there was a sunburst causing an instability for some reason, making it not work. Doing that thing where it stays paused. So annoying. Move, I honk at you. I should be downshifting a little bit more, but I can't really hear the engine. I should have also checked my volume level. I feel like the game's a little quieter than it should be. I will pass this sunburst on this lap, though. This is a good course, I like it. It's got a good mix of like hills and technical corners, and then it's got a more high-speed bit on this lower road and in the tunnel. Oh no! That was not a good time to try and pass. But the car's still going though somehow, so there's no way I'll catch up to them like this, let alone pass them again. But never know. The car's still going, might as well. Ooh, it does not want to turn left. Use handbrake to get it to turn right. I should have just restarted, but I really don't want to, because I'm at the end of the time I have for it to. Let's try and get this thing around the corners and to the finish line in mostly one piece, what's left of it. Ooh, definitely feel that front wheel flopping around. Another thing I like about Beam is if you play properly and don't just smash everything, it's a real challenge, especially when you wreck your car. Ooh, that's bad. Alrighty. Well, that is it for today's video. I will likely quickly go and... Yeah, I'm gonna go put I think fenders and stuff on it at least, so I'll do that and then I will cut the end of it. Alrighty, well, that was fun. It takes a long time, but I quite enjoy having to drive back and forth stuff. Just it's more realistic. So, just parts. I'm not gonna worry about the paint until after body. Oh, that's like the main body. Um, engine stuff, front bumpers, front left fender, um, wide body, front left fender. I don't want the wide body stuff. Front left fender flare. There we go. Wow, that's a lot. I like how you can kind of walk around your car and stuff while upgrading it too. I will also have to go back into the tuning and set the spacing. That was the front left fender flare, so I need the front right now. There we go. Now I need the rear fender flares and side skirts. Rear fender flares, Turbo Rabbit instead of Rocket Bunny. And then side skirts, so SQRS, side skirts. I guess I don't need to install side skirts. Okay. Is there anything for the side skirt, for the fenders that go under the front bumper? Front bash bar, front bumper, wide body bumper. Alright, that might be it. I'll check off camera. I believe it already has a front lip on it. No, it does not, so I will install that as well. And then what else should I do body-wise? The normal version of this car has the stock hood on it. I'm not going to change that. I could do some more drivetrain stuff. So where is the gearbox? Likely under transmission. I don't think I can change the drive shaft. Is it drive shaft? Probably under rear drive shaft. Ooh, I should put underglue on it too. The normal version has either white or blue underglue, I'm not sure. Spoiler, side skirts, shift light. I should put a shift light in it as well, but I will get to that, and a roll cage when that comes time for. Where is the transmission? Is it under engine? Let's check under engine. Engine block. I want to do the transmission first. I can do the flywheel. Ultralight flywheel. That's only got us up to 2,600. There's my phone ringing again. Why can't I find the gearbox? Interesting. Either way, I will end this video here. I will continue to look for the gearbox and do that. And then, depending on money, I might do a couple other upgrades, and I will mention what they were in the beginning of the next video. So, as always, if you have any tips or tricks or questions or anything you want me to check out, let me know in the comments below. If you liked it, hit like. If you want to see more stuff like this, I do lots of Beam stuff, I do scrap mechanics stuff, tons of stuff. And there will be much more to come as I slowly get back into life again. So, yeah. Other than that, as usual, I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.